Hello YouTube, here and welcome to the best Dishonored playthrough of all time, Volume 2. I heard no complaints regarding these videos last time, so if it's all the same to y'all, I'ma just keep them coming. Okay, so some of you might notice that the video is shorter than you expected. That's because I'm ending Volume 2 at the end of the Kaldwins bridge mission. This was my original intention, but I forgot and went all the way through the Boyle party. That said, for the sake of narrative neatness, I'm choosing to do it this way. That means this volume comprises everything from episode 7, the beginning of the Golden Cat mission, to episode 13, the end of the Sokolov abduction. Sorry to anyone who was looking forward to the massive video this could have been, but I hope you'll understand why I did this in time. And yes, this does mean volume 3 is coming after the end of the next mission. Hopefully it won't confuse anyone too much. Anyways, that's all for me, so let's get on with the show. We begin in our room after what I hope was a nice long nap for Corvo. With nowhere else to go, we head downstairs and outside to find Piero and a maid, possibly Callista, talking. The maid is upset at Piero for something having to do with a brothel called the Golden Cat. I hypothesize it's cause she caught him with one of their employees, but I don't have the luxury of caring, as Lemonpunch gives me an order. We make our way to grab a bone charm we picked up during the Lost first playthrough and make our way to Havelock to learn about new enemies called Weepers, who are plague-ridden people who basically act like zombies.
There's no hope for them once the plague gets that far along. Nothing more than a shuffling corpse full of sickness and insects.
Thus, we had to head into the sewers to go eliminate the Weepers, getting locked in the process because I guess I'm not that important to the Resistance. We walk around for a bit and get some juicy lemon lore. You good over there, dog?
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's a little goblin that lives in my throat that tickles my throat.
Should really ask him to not. Like, it's kind of rude.
Lethal goblin Gordon.
Before hearing the sounds of sickness getting louder the deeper we go. We eventually find two Weepers shuffling about and dispatch them quickly. Punk ass bitch. We grab the rune they were guarding for some reason and proceed into the menu to spend the 8 we, but mostly I, accumulated. After a short while bantering, we decide on... No! What? Do you know how many times we use time stop this playthrough alone? We're already kind of pushing it with how often we use that joke, but from this point on, it's absolutely banned. Aw, maybe just one more time? Fine, but that's it. You gotta think of better material, dog. I'll try. Anyways. I grab one more hidden rune, struggle to open the sewer gate, and get blocked from escape by a surprise cutscene, but eventually make it out of the sewer and back to Havelock.
Who is it?
We arrive back at the bar and get our briefing from Havelock and Martin. The gist of the operation is to take out the Pendletons. Not Trevor, but his brothers, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Oh, and Emily is also there, I guess.
You've given us a glimmer of hope. Very strong. It appears that Pendleton's own kinsmen stand in our way. Twins, Morgan and Custis.
We stop to buy some stuff and are stopped on our way out by Trevor, who tells me some mostly irrelevant lore about how shitty Beavis and Butthead are and let us know that we'll be heading to the Golden Cat, but at the end implies that deep down he's at least a little saddened about their impending dooms.
Please do it before I change my mind.
And so we speak with God Emperor Samuel and shove off back to the distillery district, hopefully for the last time. We arrive at the distillery district while it's light out this time. Samuel gives us a little info on where to go and what to expect, cluing us into the existence of a man named Slackjaw. He runs the Battle Street gang and is key to the non-lethal opportunity for the Pendletons. The first time we did all this, we actually did that whole plot point, but were foiled by a random guard aggroing us for no reason, causing everyone else to want smoke and ruining everything. This one random thug soft-locked us out of the non-lethal option after we already did all the requirements, wasting something like 2 hours of effort, so you'll have to forgive our unwillingness to even entertain this quest. While we're on the topic though, I do want to bring attention to the man's attire. Why does he look like a carny? Like, did he try to make it at a carnival before turning to a life of crime or something? 'Cause that's a story I'd like to hear. We now break to listen to my dog go hog wild while I open the dungeon door to get a drink. If I give the right command in Russian, she'll tear your throat out. What a good girl. Anyways, the game warns about the chaos we wrought and how it's affected the distillery district, but we skip past quickly as we've done this song and dance before. Roaming rat brigades, angry city watch guys, and the occasional weeper. Nothing we can't handle, of course. There's a commotion up on the nearby bridge involving an explosion, symbolizing how our actions have had consequences, but we're on a mission, so we can't linger long. Also, soda opening ASMR, cause why not, you know?
Refreshing.
That's just, delicious, folks. After my solo romp to correct the timeline, I've grown a lot. For example, the crouch button now consistently exists, and I use it when applicable. More than that, paired with the blink ability, sneak killing guards and slipping back into hiding is a piece of cake. You know, the bare minimum requirements for competence at the stealth video game. Look at me growing. We learn from our mistakes here, just really slowly over the course of several. Oh, and in addition to all the rats and angry police, I also have these watchtower things to worry about. They're basically unmanned surface-to-air missile turrets, and handsome guy Corvo is, they only have eyes for him. That is, before you rewire them. Despite causing all the chaos and playing through it once before, I can't help jump every time I see a group of rats bigger than 4. Fortunately, that doesn't stop me from getting to Slackjaw's front door. For whatever reason, the rest of the gang members aren't aggro anymore, despite us killing all their friends last time we visited, but I can't say I mind. Either way, we're not here for them. No, we make a beeline for an explosive bottle on the nearby table and move down the adjoining alley. See, this next encounter was our first major roadblock in the first playthrough, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this bottle is key to our survival. I immediately chugged the explosive bottle in the first guy's face before trying to flee up the stairs to my right. The first time we did this, we died. Alive. But the time that finally worked was the time when I took shelter up here and let Slackjaw's lackeys handle it. Well, not this time, as the second guy was waiting and pulled me in with his tractor beam. Fortunately, he was no challenge, and the rest of the plan went smoothly. So smoothly, in fact, I didn't even feel the need to watch and make sure they got him, for we had other business to attend. Still attempting to recapture the magic of our first run, I try to rain grenades down the guards patrolling the street in front of Dr. Galvani's house, but I fuck up and people start shooting at me. In my defense, though, Lemonpunch was the one who pulled it off last time. Resorting instead to my trusty-dusty crossbow, I take one guy out with a shot to the chest. I aim at the rest, but none of them go down easy. Or at all, actually. After seeing the first guy go down, the rest suddenly developed Ultra Instinct level jukes. I mean, look at this dick. Nobody ducks my shots and gets away with it. Enter our first of many time stops. I mean, I didn't say I used it well. It was just the first. There are many more to come, and all of them are more impressive than whatever the hell that was. After another less than stellar use of time stop and wasting all our regular and sleep darts, I finally put down the last guy. Is what I would say if that was true, because unfortunately Mr. Sharpshot on the balcony wanted a piece of me too. Not in the mood to deal with him, I head for the nearby shot gate instead. Drawing from our past experience again, I immediately rewire the shot gate and go to guard into it, gleefully watching him evaporate. Hey buddy. Oh, you're so dumb. I scanned the area quickly before stepping through the gate, no doubt inhaling dude dust on my way, and for some reason ignoring the sound of the watchtower gearing up behind me. Well, of course it fires, but fortunately its aim is ass, so I avoid any serious damage. I then dance around it, looking for the balcony so I can climb up, but crucially stop to kill a guard, giving the tower the time it needs for a bullseye. After a clutch blink and a heal, I manage to rush past the tower towards our objective, the Golden Cat. The game tells us that we can play our way, despite that being what we've been doing the whole time. As you've seen, and will continue to see, Lemonpunch and I have slightly different approaches when it comes to things. After discovering the crouch button, Stealth and I have become good friends. If there's a quiet option, I'll likely go for it. Lemonpunch, on the other hand, well, he likes grenades. A lot. He likes it loud, and uses his foreknowledge and a dash of finesse to get out of jams. We're like yin and yang in that way. Well, let's see which playstyle wins out in the end. I take quickly to the high road, making my way across an adjacent roof and onto the main building. Due to a lack of dart ammo, I had to drop kill this guy, but in the end it wasn't a big deal. After all I had to do was slink along the edge, kill this dude, and duck into an open window, finally beginning the mission proper. It's at this point that Lemonpunch gets boastful. I couldn't quite hear what he said in the recording, but I believe it was kill them all. So I gave him the opportunity to prove he could do just that, without turning the reins back to me. So despite not dying, now it's Lemonpunch's turn to show off his skill, and complete the mission without turning the reins over once. Thus why I saved. Lemonpunch starts by using the time stop and killing this guy. Then he proceeds to get turned around, wasting the rest of the time stop and causing the lady he was talking to freak out. Ever the resourceful one, Lemonpunch kills her. For a reason I can only assume was because I already forgot this was a challenge, I reminded Lemonpunch that the master key she has is super useful, so he swiped it before moving elsewhere. Here he grabs a statue and moves to the wall ledges. What the fuck are these things? Normal buildings aren't supposed to have person-sized ledges lining the interior walls. It's basically a highway for mice and rats, which would be even more of a concern here than in the real world. Well, anyways, two unfortunate souls assumedly happen across the two bodies Lemonpunch left behind and start searching for him, and after mocking them, he heads down to grab the rune on the wall. What he didn't know is that the guards he just insulted were right down the hall. Fortunately, Lemonpunch had a plan. He simply stops time, runs up, and slits their throats. This was the first good use of time stop this run, and was an eye-opening experience for me. The Lemonpunch makes his way into the next room, and it's full of people. Despite standing in the doorway for an extended period of time, nobody sees him as he pops Chaos Control once again, and books it to the other end of the room, where, according to our previous playthrough, Bumbus Pendleton would be waiting. Strangely enough, though, he and his lady friend were nowhere to be found. After studying the objectives for a minute, Lemonpunch heads out onto the balcony and across the ledge to a different one. On his way over, a guard spots him and alerts others. Fortunately, he was an easy kill, but the jump to the higher ledge could have ended in tragedy.
And like that, he found Beavis.
What? Name tag? No, ignore that. Must be a glitch or something.
After having some fun peeping on Beavis, Lemonpunch busts in and first puts an end to his lady friend, and then him.
At this point, the room is filled with guards, so Lemonpunch pulls the time stop to make his escape. This goes well, but it could have gone better had he not run into somebody's muzzle flash, which apparently harms you in stop time. That was only the beginning of his bad luck. Seems he didn't realize he was out of mana, because he stopped in the room to steal someone's Cubans and could not escape.
Oh,
Damn. Seems saving when we switched wasn't necessary, as the game saved us in front of the room. So I swipe it and use Witch Time to kill these bozos like Lemonpunch did. After that, I deviate from his path to look around. After playing through by myself, I'm kinda hooked on this crazy new fad called checking my surroundings. Super useful when you don't want to be poor and destitute. Remembering our first playthrough, I get a strange feeling akin to deja vu. Like I was forgetting something important. So I follow the feeling, heading up a flight of stairs to find some doors. I know behind one of them lies whatever it is I seek. The first door was a bust, but behind door number 2 I find a child? Seems like a weird place to keep a kid. Oh shit, right, Emily! Yay! We found Emily! All according to the plan. Good job, past me. What? Forgot about her? Preposterous. How could I forget about Queen Jessamine's kid? Especially after Jessamine asked me to watch over her with her dying breath. I must say, I'm insulted at the very insinuation. Anyways, I follow, Emily. Thanks. Emily downstairs to make sure she gets out safely, but Lemonpunch lets me know that she's in zero danger and will just wait for me while I go take care of the Pendletons. Oh, but before we move on, want to know a bombshell secret?
I know, I am the voice actor for everyone in this game.
My god, I had no idea.
You guys want to hear my Corvo?
Damn, you really are him! Wasn't that amazing? To think my friend was so accomplished. Kinda makes you wonder what he's doing recording YouTube videos with me, huh? Only think an accomplished voice actor like him would have better things to do. Well, Lemonpunch having nothing better to do on a Saturday aside, I snuck across a big room with people in it that I'll be referring to as the main room from now on, and upstairs to the gold room where Beavis waits. I murder the guy out front and peep on Pendleton through the keyhole.
Who do you want me to be tonight, Lord Pendleton?
Anyone you want. The High Overseer for all us drinking.
Guess he's a roleplay guy. I open the door, ready to jump into action, but Lemonpunch tells me to wait. Seems Beavis isn't a fan of a lady named Waverly Boyle. You know, you don't hear the name Waverly much, but I like it. If your name is Waverly, you win. Please call 555-3742 for your reward. Despite wanting to join the fun, Lemonpunch instructed me to throw a grenade, but unfortunately, there's only so long you can stand entirely unhidden in a double doorway and remain unseen by the people inside. For Beavis Pendleton, it was about 33 seconds, but my gut tells me he's an outlier. Well, Beavis rushed me and it goes exactly how you'd expect. To me, you look like a bitch! Well, I hate to say it, but it seems Pendleton got the last laugh in hell here, cause, well, just watch. There are people over here. Oh, jeez. Lemonpunch starts this one strong by trying to murder Amelia, but eventually remembering that we have shit to do, heading to the main room and accidentally using time stop. One might expect this to only be a good thing, but not when you get stuck on 2 people in your haste to get somewhere safe. All that to say, the guards are already on his ass, so Lemonpunch has to hurry. Despite practically everyone in the building knowing his location, he stops to duel a guy and gets shot. No! But eventually gets his bearings long enough to hit Quicksilver, make it into Pendleton's suite, and kill him while he's helpless. Well, slightly more helpless than usual. Shortly after the execution, Lemonpunch has to quickly make his way to the balcony and into the waters below, landing safely among the reeds. He proceeds up to the street near where we entered the area and killed some guards, though I can't help noting Corvo's abysmal sword skills. It's like every time we cross blades, they easily parry us and always land a hit first. I really thought Corvo would be better than this, being the Queen's sole protector and everything. Maybe the Queen had low standards. Or nepotism. Yeah, I'm going with one of those. Unfortunately, despite winning that brawl, Lemonpunch ends up wandering into a gaggle of dudes, and contrary to his comments, it was in fact not all part of his plan. He's just wandered into a group. There's this folks part of his plan all along? Maybe.
Yes, that was all part of my plan.
Well, fourth time's a charm, as they
Masterful.
always say. As they always say. As they always say. This time, rather than going for Beavis in the gold room first, I choose to check out the steam room instead. Seems like a bad idea given my mask has glass lenses in the eyes, but I guess I was feeling confident. I immediately hear two guys talking and assume one is Butthead. In response, I use a time stop to kill them both in one fell swoop, but I'm surprised when neither one is a target. That wasn't special enough to be him.
That's so.
My confusion doesn't last long, though, as I look around and soon find the door where Butthead waits with his attendant. Stranger yet, because as I record this, I recall him being in a different room on our first playthrough, but it doesn't matter much anymore. Well, Butthead somehow manages to go out like even more of a bitch than his brother, being pushed back by a graze and not even getting an interesting execution animation. Christ. It's fine. Well, high off that victory, I don't make the cleanest escape as I get spotted a couple times, but nothing a handy-dandy time rush won't fix.
This feels like a worse.
Well, kinda. In my rush to get away from the guards, I go right past Beavis, but if not for that, we wouldn't have gotten this clip.
He just floated off like.
Or this one. Okay. But hilarity aside, it's time to get the hell out of here. We swim to the same place Lemonpunch did, kill this guy, and throw him in the water. That last part isn't very important, but it does let me show this clip. Punky ass bitch. Anyways, I abscond with little difficulty.
That one.
Ha cha cha. Is that like a meme now?
A little too late.
Outside, I find the watchtower briefly still looking for me, but soon returning to its docile state. I take that opportunity to rewire it and let it rain death on the poor guards who are still alive.
That apparently says ha cha cha.
I don't know. I mean,
Like, who the fuck would say ha cha cha?
My fun is mildly spoiled when Lemonpunch reminds me that I forgot about the child, but I'm sure we'll just be in and out. So I make my way back in and up the side building like we did before. One guy did yell at me, but it's not like he could do
I
anything.
want to chat with you.
no, don't worry about me, dog. I'm on my way out.
So I slip back in and encourage Lemonpunch to follow his dreams of becoming a musician.
Malcolm, who would win, Batman or Jason Derulo?
Clearly Jason Derulo. I mean, have you heard the pipes on that man?
See, I can do that.
You should try to make it big as a musician. I think that would work out really well for you. Before heading towards Emily. Well, on the topic of music though, we touched on some weird ones, including something called gore grind. For those of you who don't know what that is, here you go. With Adderley retrieved, it's time to make our way back to Samuel. First, I say hi to Granny Rags, who's hanging out in this alley behind the Golden Cat for reasons? Well, as much as I'd like to catch up, we really must be going, so we do that, leaving Granny Rags to do whatever she's up to.
Have you seen it? Handsome one.
If you are, comment down below. Whoa.
On my way out, I cut across the street in front of Galvani's house and head for the alley where the tractor beam guys tried to kill me before.
Ha cha cha.
It's here that I meet another one, or perhaps the one I left behind earlier. The world may never know, but he's dead now, so it doesn't matter.
Piece of shit.
I briefly considered murdering Slackjaw's guys for the fun of it, but after a long day at the brothel, I was dog tired, so I just headed straight for Samuel the way I got in.
Could kill you guys.
I find Samuel and Eliza waiting for me. Seems the Pendletons weren't interesting enough to warrant one of Samuel's philosophical tidbits like he did for Campbell and the Overseers, but I'm honestly not surprised. They were mid-antagonists at best. That aside, the mission finished screen. At this point, I'm not particularly surprised by how much money we missed anymore, but I was taken aback by how much money was in the level altogether. Unfortunately though, it's gotta be this way, because if we looked everywhere, this play session would have been way too long. I am kind of pissed about the Sokolov paintings though. Guess we're 1 for 4 on those. Hopefully we'll have better luck in the upcoming missions. We arrived back at the Hound's Pit to the certified box safe and sound by Capital Cities, which was definitely a welcome surprise. Okay, that was a lie. We just happened to be talking about it at the time and I wanted an excuse to listen to it. Talk about nostalgia. Anyways, Ellery and Samuel talk about grown-up business for a bit.
Business, girl. I mean, your ladyship. Forgive me.
It's okay. I heard a lot of grown-up business at the Golden Cat.
Oh, I should concentrate on piloting this boat.
And eventually we make it to the dock. It's at this point that Emberly goes with Callista to explore the Hound's Pit, and Havelock comes to congratulate us for a job well done. We then go to speak with Trevor, who is looking wistfully out at the water. He talks about how he's a little broken up about me murdering his brothers and says some other stuff, but now it's time for Lemonpunch and I to celebrate a successful mission the way we always do, by killing our friends.
I didn't even say before.
Cat Pendleton. But only the one, since we got our fill the first time. It's worth noting that I remember him having invincibility for a period of time after he starts walking away, a feature that we found particularly fun to play with. After that, I make my way towards the quest marker, but on my way, fall into a hole despite being able to see it clearly in post.
You know what I mean?
I don't know, guys. I'm not that bright.
He fell into the hole.
I make it to the bar about 5 seconds later than anticipated and slightly smellier to get my next marching orders from Havelock.
Because I'm kind of the best.
Seems our next target is Sokolov. I did it right this time. Maker of elixirs, painter, mechanist extraordinaire. With all the things I've heard about this guy at this point, I assume he's at least marginally skilled at everything. Additionally, we're told we have to head out immediately because assassins don't deserve basic working rights like breaks or days off. What a world. We stop by Piro before we head out. Despite our retinas being fried by the god rays, we managed to buy a couple things while talking about
chosen one.
Jimmy Neutron?
He's guy of superstition.
Oh, it's into the stars to buy candy bars. He's a kid with a knack for adventure.
Jeez,
A
we're weird.
superpowered mind. And a mechanic.
From one strange topic to another, we somehow get on the topic of Lemonpunch's love for cans of peas.
I wish I had a
'Cause,
whole,
you know, why
can
not?
of beans and I could like shove them in my mouth and just like eat entire, like not beans, peas.
Those are things that he does. He puts entire cans in his mouth and chews them up.
Anyways, in total, we buy a load of dart ammo and some bolt
The riddle
capacity.
really gives it.
As our last distraction before we leave, we get on the topic of Annie Mae. I'm not sure if you've heard, but the internet loves to talk about her these days. I've heard tell she's got a chicken with a tie or something that people really like admiring too, and we're beyond lost. So, if any of you guys watching have an answer, do us a favor and put it in the comments below. It'd be greatly appreciated.
It's like it's an anime. Yeah.
Alright, one of these days I'm going to track down Annie Mae and I'm going to ask you about that damn hen.
And so, it was off to Kaldwins Bridge with us, ready to bring Sokolov in, dead or alive.
Sammy, I'm fucking
Well,
tired.
actually, just alive, but you get the idea.
I want to sleep. I'm like...
So, what can I say about Kaldwins Bridge? Well, the first time we came here, it did not go smoothly. The biggest issue, as I recall, was the fact that we didn't stock up on items before we left. Actually, if I recall correctly, Lemonpunch only bought bombs. Couple that with not knowing how best to use bullet time, and you've got quite the mess on your hands. Suffice it to say, this time will be different. After we make landfall, I do my best to go stealthy at first. This does not work, so I have to go with plan B.
Right there.
I pull time stop and make my way into the crowd, taking out 2 guys before time resumes and quickly getting another.
I do not, because I know
I then have to use time stop again as the guard activates the alarm, and remembering our first playthrough, I know the key to success is turning that thing the fuck off. I notice a quest marker leading me to a blocked off door, and unsurprisingly, I have no idea what to do, as we never actually made it this far last time. Yes, it was that bad. Lemonpunch leaves me by the nose for a while before revealing that he's fuzzy on the details himself, and takes over as guiding me would take literal ages. That's the left.
No, over. No, not that way. The other way. There. Okay, so you go down here.
Well, after a short bit of parkour, Lemonpunch goes back to the door I was just inspecting before we switched and through it. Man, that's where I was going. You'll notice a bit of a pattern with Lemonpunch going forward, and that he likes to trick me and lead me astray for shits and giggles.
Overseas office all over again.
Bastard.
It was so fun.
That aside, he keeps moving up the stairs to an area with a minecart in it. Not entirely sure what its purpose is, but we need to get it across the river. Lemonpunch plugs a canister of whale oil into the gate, steals some stuff.
Footprints.
Does this.
He was trying to sell fraudulent clock.
And starts the disappointingly short roller coaster.
Ooh, a roller coaster. Oh my god, this is so much fun. Oh my god, it's over.
Now at the other side, Lemonpunch rains grenades down on the poor, unsuspecting guards, but ends up drawing a little more attention than he bargained for.
There's always grenades with this guy. Is he dead?
He makes his way down to street level, quickly takes care of the mob, and heads down towards the drawbridge spotlights.
Weed.
Get it? Get it? We take some time to discuss Batman.
Like Batman who could kill.
So just Arkham Batman.
Arkham Batman does not kill.
Dog, do you see how hard he's hitting those guys? They're dead.
Yeah,
Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive.
What's that song? Like, I will survive.
Gloria Gaynor? As long as I know how to live, I know I will survive. It's called I Will Survive.
Oh, yeah.
Before doing what we do best, pilfering. Well, maybe third best behind killing people and fucking up.
Stealing stuff.
Sick. This goes on for some time, but we eventually come across a safe with a rune in it. Despite how much we wanted to get it, we knew the safe cracking would take us way too long, so we left it behind. Safes 3, us 1. I'm starting to think it's a lost cause, guys.
It's always about doing both.
Unfortunately, it wasn't long before we found another rune, this time on an altar behind some guy named Mad Survivor. Weird name, not gonna lie. Anyways, you know what outsider shrines mean. That's right, a visit from our favorite emo planeswalker, it's the Outsider. Still is about how Sokolov is actually his groupie and is trying really hard to get Outsider Senpai to notice him, but Mr. Hot Topic over here is uninterested. All that aside, Lemonpunch leaves through a window and around the side, but tragically falls and dies.
What the hell? I looked away for 2 seconds.
In an arguably more tragic turn of events, though, because I didn't see how he died, I made the exact same mistake.
A little ridiculous. Oh, that's what you did.
Remember that one brain cell we share? Yeah, I don't think it was favoring either of us today. Anyways, Lemonpunch's turn again. He miraculously makes it across the Gap of Doom before doing some more pillaging and some more parkour, soon finding himself overlooking the next batch of enemies and their lightning towers. All the power of a shot gate, but given range. Lemonpunch starts by putting some of the guards to sleep. You might notice a guard run away at the foot of the bridge. Yeah, he's important. Well, not this run, but he will be. On his way down, Lemonpunch tried to drop kill a dog, and it didn't. Next is my turn, and I start the same way Lemonpunch did, by putting some of the guards in range to sleep. We move down the building and wait a sec for the dog Lemonpunch failed to execute last time, but he chooses not to show up this time. After killing a guard, I wander a little too close to the shock tower, and, you know, I think past me said it best.
Ow, fuck. Damn. Jesus fucking Christ.
Turns out these things are not to
Okay,
be trifled with,
so-
as it very nearly one-shot me from half health. TBH, I didn't have a plan for dealing with this thing, and the best idea I could come up with was to shoot it, but Lemonpunch offered a better suggestion.
I wish I had a pool of peas.
No.
Now safely past the shock tower, I took a look around hoping to disable the tower.
Oh, that's not.
A plan that nearly ended in disaster, but fortunately I remembered to crouch
That
now.
was basically like him
No,
redoing
fuck,
a
shit,
song
shit.
in Norwegian.
Oh.
After that close call, nabbing the fuel tank was easy, but now we have angry guards to deal with. I blow two of them up with a whale oil, but I'm forced to retreat as several more guys come running down the
I had
ramp.
other plans for
A
that.
chain
but that
reaction evidently
Oh,
caused
Jesus.
by letting that one guard go at the beginning of the encounter.
Hey, lay off! Hey, yo!
I backtrack all the way to the building we started at and formulate a plan.
Alright, boys.
Time stop.
I'm ready for
That's
you.
it. I return to the fray and bait the guards into a line before popping the time stop and getting in there. I kill these guys before time resumes, taking a bit of damage dealing with one of the remaining two, but in the end take them both out. Unsurprisingly, after such a bloodbath, I stop paying attention, nearly getting shot by another guard.
4 out of 5
Ah,
of
Jesus.
them had no
I respond in kind, unloading 3 crossbow bolts into his torso, but getting doused in blood in the process, something I was apparently very upset about at the moment.
Spray me with his goddamn blood. Fucking mongrel.
What's your
I proceed up towards the next shock tower as Lemonpunch starts talking about AI precedents.
You know,
It's
they're
perhaps
chill.
his current favorite YouTube thing, and TBH, they can be funny in an absurd middle school humor kind of way. I don't know, check those out after the video if you're into that kind of stuff.
Usually with memes, it's only like.
That aside, in trying to blow up the shock tower, I attract the ire of a couple more guards, and let's just say I fail my safety.
Hold on.
But, like-
Guys!
AI,
Damn it!
Lemonpunch is back at the
know
wheel and opts to
something
take
to
an
be
alternate
said
route this
about,
time.
like,
He goes
AI
down the stairs
stuff,
behind
man.
us,
You
makes
know,
his way to the
you know,
ground,
just
and
like,
rather than going the direct
like,
route past the shock
use of
tower,
AI
opts
and
to
how,
head
like,
for a
you know,
stairway
people,
and
you
path
know,
down and to the
choose
left.
use it, you know,
or dastardly deep.
He
I've
finds a
seen worse
perch and
uses,
begins
I've seen
sniping
worse uses,
people in the
yeah.
control tower that we need to get to with sleep darts. He takes out a couple before
Definitely
turning
not
his
taking.
attention to the guys by the shock tower, but is interrupted when someone gets in close from above and starts swinging.
Hey.
Lemonpunch
You
moves
party
off his perch
pooper.
to escape the attack, but it only seems to have reminded the guards that they can go straight to him.
Okay.
He manages to
Your
take
party
out 4
poops.
pursuing guards with a mix of sleep darts and steel, but takes heavy damage in the process.
My God.
He then receives a bullet straight to the side of the head before he can heal, launching him into the world below.
So, I'm sorry to say.
Back to
but,
me, and I opt for the original strat, but let the one guard go
Look
again.
at that guy. He's running. Like
So, one scaled building and sleeping dog later, we're back to the shock tower, but first, we gotta put the alerted guards to sleep while they're too far away to harm me. With that taken care of, I confidently equip Blink to get past the tower just like we did previously.
What the fuck? I got
Note to self, heal before dealing with shock tower.
last time. The game.
So, Lemonpunch opts for the original strat, but let the guard go again. To his credit, he does try to take care of at least one of the alerted guards and
Comment down
succeeds.
below if you
Eventually.
watch Black Dynamite.
Wasted dart ammo aside, we're face to face with Tesla Death Machine again. Lemonpunch twists the script again by heading the alternate route.
You rat bastard.
Unfortunately, the Bastard Brigade is back, and sleep darts were not as
Oh, man, you
effective
gonna
this
make it out of
time,
this,
so
guys?
despite winning the fight, Lemonpunch was hurting. Exactly the situation that led to his
Survived.
downfall
Yes,
last
Arrow.
time.
Okay.
Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, he doesn't make it this run, as a couple guards staggered their entrances and waited until he was distracted.
weird.
A bastardly plan if I ever saw one. Well, we're on the building again, and we're sniping guards with sleep darts
No,
again.
Light Yagami. I'm better than Light Yagami.
This time, I managed to take out the guard that always runs off and alerts the others, so I'm already
Light
optimistic.
Yagami and I were in a...
I make my way down the building nonetheless, and into a window this time because I was curious what was in there.
Stop.
Apparently, it's a bunch of stuff.
Look at this shit.
And rotting corpses.
Wouldn't you say?
But let's focus on
I've
the
got a
stuff.
bunch of shit.
Stuff's good. Stuff aside, we're back to my nemesis, this damn shock tower. Learning from my mistake last time, I heal, just in case, and blink past it. Phase 1 of conquering the shock tower, complete. Now for Phase 2, get shocked by the tower while trying to steal the whale oil. Don't worry, I'm fine.
Fuck.
Just gotta trust the process.
Piece of fucking shit.
Phase 3, get ambushed by a dog and be forced to kill it. Man, this plan is kind of a bummer. Now for Phase 4. Very carefully open the whale oil containment unit and remove the canister. And finally, Phase 5. Profit. Satisfied with my foolproof plan, I'm momentarily surprised by the bastard brigade, but it's nothing I can't handle with a little elbow grease and a time stop. Plus a tactical retreat, just in case there were more. I turn around, hit the time stop again, and return to the fray to handle what I assumed would be just a few more guys. After dealing with the 2 guys in time stop, 3 more guys decided to complicate my day further.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Fortunately, it was still nothing time stop couldn't handle. Now, some of you might call our reliance on the move cowardice, and you're absolutely correct. But the way I see it, you're stupid, so yeah. Anyways, one last bastard for the road, and we're finally done.
You did the Yoda death note.
I loot the drawbridge key off his corpse and head into the watchtower in search of health potions, as I assume we're getting low, and surprisingly, we actually find some, along with some other useful shit.
Healing potion.
There's another one
Exactly
right
what
here.
I'm looking for.
I move out and around the building to
Playing
find a
for the
whale oil
pool?
canister powering the second shot gate.
That the
My first
electric
instinct
thing?
was to yoink the whale oil and save it for later, but Lemonpunch urged me to rewire the tower instead. So I put the oil back in and go in search of the rewire spot, which was fortunately not far up the stairs. Shock gate successfully corrupted, I continue up the stairs in search of a way across the drawbridge.
Wowzers.
Lemonpunch tells me to get the attention of guards that are supposed to be here, but it seems they were part of the group from earlier, so I'm free to ascend unimpeded. I notice a sheet of metal that looks suspiciously like a painting on my way up, and go to investigate, only to find that it is in fact just a sheet of metal. I then notice a chain hanging nearby and try to grab hold. The operative word being try. So we begin again, and it looks like we forgot to switch since I'm still in control for some reason. As we head up the stairs, I see a sign likely warning me of danger, but fortunately...
That sign can't stop me. I can't read.
And just past the sign, I find exactly what I'm looking for.
Drawbridge control. Sure thing.
Why would I want to?
On my way back down, I take a detour to look for things I might have missed, stumbling on a chain blocked by wooden boards. This got my secret sense tingling, so I climb the chain, making sure not to fall to my death again, and proceed to the top, where I very nearly fall to my death again.
How to not fall to your oblivion. Ooh. And then
While looking around, Lemonpunch tells me about a Batman Easter egg, and while skeptical at first, I decided to trust him. Did you see him? He was there for a split second after my face crashed into the rock. Talk about a cool secret. At least I can count on Lemonpunch sometimes. Now with Lemonpunch at the wheel, he points out another Batman appearance hanging out with the Dalek from Doctor Who, though Batman's model appears glitched and floated all over the screen. Still pretty cool if you ask me. Leaving Batman and the Dalek behind, Lemonpunch heads up a ramp to an area with 2 whale oil canisters behind the gate. One might assume the gate would be locked to prevent anyone from messing with the canisters, but one would be wrong. Lemonpunch walks straight in and removes one of the canisters, much to the chagrin of some nearby guards. Lemonpunch proceeds to toss the oil off the side of the building like he was trying to make a 4-pointer to win the soccer game. One might think he threw it so that it'd fall on some unsuspecting guards or something, and one would be 2 for 2 with the wrong guesses, as there is no boom and the oil was wasted. Perhaps one might want to stop trying to guess things and just watch the video. Lemonpunch proceeds to blow one guy up with the other canister and drop kills the other, showing that when he tries, he can show some real tact and skill. Want to see him fuck it up? Well, it wouldn't be us without a fully avoidable death mere minutes into the video, huh? Back up top with some whale oil in hand, I nearly botched the easy kill, but not as hard as this guy botches his escape from the explosion. After waiting a bit for the second guy, I eventually proceed down a set of stairs and resort to our most reliable strat. Gotcha, punk. And you too, idiot. Those were tactical insults, by the way, 100% necessary for the strat.
Hi, buddies.
Anyways, 2 more goobers come up the stairs to join the party, and fortunately for them, there's enough time stop executions to go around. As for the last guy, I chose not to waste mana with time stop, opting to waste a crossbow bolt instead, but I make him pay for it. It's here that Lemonpunch reminds me that I can pick their heads up, which of course means I had to do it. Turns out this guard's name was Jimmy. Friendly guy, all things considered. I really didn't have much of a plan regarding what to do with him, so we just chucked him at a lightning tower hoping to explode him, but unfortunately it wasn't in the cards. In the interest of not facing the shot gate head on, I find a sneaky little blink shortcut, saving us lots of time and energy. I take a short trip over to the whale oil powering the tower and remove it, allowing us to pass down the ramp behind it and towards our final destination, Sokolov's house. On our way down the ramp, we run into 2 more guards and witness one try to assassinate the other.
Hey, watch it. You almost hit your friend. Idiot.
Maybe he was just using it as an excuse to kill his friend,
Yeah.
Mortimer.
You know, I can understand that if his name was Mortimer.
You know, I regret my past statements. Mortimers, I am truly sorry for saying such things about your name. So you know what? If your name is Mortimer, you win. For your prize, please go down to your local city hall and tell them your name. They'll know what to do. Anyways, onwards towards Sokolov we go. In the next room, we find a room with stuff in it. Yeah, there's really nothing to say here, so instead, listen to our incredibly tasteful and highbrow banter.
Okay, yeah, this part we should probably keep out. That was just stupid. Why'd you close his chamber pot, dude?
So he can't use it.
That's so mean. Or he's gonna shit now.
And I had to shit himself. That's just the way it's gotta be.
Yeah, it ain't easy being the funniest people alive, but it's honest work. After locating the direction I have to go, I discreetly take out 3 guards before doing what might be my first successful drop kill all playthrough. While we proceed to the next interesting event, please enjoy Lemonpunch's musings on what he might do with a suit of peas.
I wish I had a suit, like a suit of peas.
Why? What would you do with a suit of peas?
Roll.
Roll?
Yeah, roll.
Well, yeah.
Roll like peas. Let's get on the ground and just roll downhill.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I too might do that had I a suit of peas. Actually, I wouldn't. I hate peas. I hate peas so much.
Wow, this is why you have no bone.
What?
No bone. No bone.
Boy, wasn't that riveting? Also, I'll have you know, I have very strong bones. The strongest, even. Anyways, I have no idea what flipping that lever was supposed to do, but Lemonpunch instructs me to blink over the shot gate, so I make my way closer before totally noticing on my own that the gate's power source was right nearby and going there instead.
Hello?
Given our lack of rewire tools, I remove the whale oil, chuck it, and proceed past the gate and closer to our target. I take a look around the area, hoping to find some stuff, but soon end up running for my life from a group of hungry rats who were not my friends.
Ah!
They're your friend. What?
I don't think they are! I don't think they are!
Further down the road, we run into a bunch of guys,
Why
and
do
due to a
those
lack
do
of ammo
nothing?
and just about all our weapons, I again take to our most tried and true strat. However... yeah, I have no excuse for this shit. So, I have to retreat, but I still manage to kill our pursuer. Fortunately, nobody else is actively aggro, so I have some time to strategize. At the time, I had two goals. Obviously, kill all the guards, but I also desperately want the painting on the outside of the nearby building.
I'm on the outside of the house.
I make my way into a building where I'm treated to some graffiti. Some of the highlights include a Yelp review for the High Regent.
Lord Regent is a shriveled prick and a liar. Hell yeah!
And this
From the
perfect
eyes,
pair.
She was a wench. Damn.
At the top of the building, I find myself overlooking a group of guards unsurprisingly guarding the door leading to Sokolov's house. In a perfect world, I'd pick them off with my crossbow, but this isn't a perfect world.
You in a museum now.
Lemonpunch urged me to blow them up, disregarding my lack of grenades, and then asserts that he could do it, so I save the game real quick and hand the controls over, interested to see how he manages to blow up the guards despite his lack of munitions.
Do it, but sure, do it.
So, suffice to say, he does not blow the guards up, but he does manage to sneak over and easily sneak kill two guards. So, all things considered, the switch was for the
That was
best.
a brilliant explosion.
Funnily enough, in a nearby locker of some sort, he does manage to find a grenade, but the job is already done. Now, to save his explosives for later, he sneaks into Sokolov's house with the grenade in hand, ready to start the climax of the mission with a bang. Lemonpunch enters Sokolov's abode, takes a quick look around the foyer, and immediately attracts all eyes to him by chucking the grenade. Sensing that that was a bad move, he panics and hides under a nearby table, attempting to swipe at the guard's ankles. Eventually, he makes a break for it up a nearby set of stairs, where he's quickly taken down. So, the first run didn't quite pan out, but don't worry, it gets worse. The controls are in my hands now, and I'm about as blind as Lemonpunch was, but as usual, I try to go stealth mode. Well, I got one guy, but it turned out to be the wrong one, as the other one was holding the key object of my demise, the music box.
Oh, it's one of those!
I cannot properly describe to you how much I hate this damn contraption. What the hell kind of weak-ass magic does the Outsider have that can be countered by normal music anyways? Well, anyways, I have to get the hell away from that thing, which results in a chase through the entire main space of Sokolov's house, revealing two indoor shot gates blocking off different areas to the upper levels, as well as a small dining area I can hide in so long as I silence the maid quietly. So, all in all, despite dying, as far as recon goes, this attempt was a resounding success. Lemonpunch respawns at the entrance and takes to a ledge this time to better scope out the area. When his targets were in sight, he lobbed the grenade, killing at least one guy, but again, not the right one. Despite causing a commotion with the grenade, he easily sneaks past the guards and upstairs to the dining room, but is noticed by a dining room maid. Lemonpunch, ever the bleeding heart, wanted to put her to sleep, but it wasn't in the cards, so he had to kill her. Unfortunately, the damage was already done. We begin my next attempt with a question from Lemonpunch for you lovely viewers.
Viewers, what if you could If you can bathe in one food or drink item, what would you bathe in?
Please leave your answers down in the comments below and feel free to be honest. Unless of course your answer is ranch dressing. I will personally pull the cord on the guillotine if it is. That aside, as you can see, I've decided to channel my inner Lemonpunch and embrace chaos, baiting the guards with the grenade and lying in wait for them to chase me. Eventually, some come along and the combat begins, but I eventually end up outmanned and forced to retreat heavily.
I will say it's like an inferior version of blue cheese.
That is until I spot some whale oil on the nearby wall that'd be perfect for a counter-strike. I expect to have to chuck it quickly, but it seems the enemy left while my back was turned, so I hurry back. By the time I catch up, my pursuers had split up a bit, so I baited them back into a group before releasing the payload. Now, all that was left was to wait for the last guy to come running into my blade.
Don't try to kill me from afar like a coward. Come get me. What are you shooting at? I'll wait. Idiot.
It took a second, but he eventually ran out of bullets and fell right into my trap, freeing me up to explore Sokolov's house at my leisure. While I have the time, I'd like to reiterate the importance of the tactical insult at the end. I am not exaggerating when I say that the fate of the entire plan, nay mission, nay the entire run up to this point, hinged on my use of the tactical insult in that moment, and I will take no argument on the matter. Anyways, upstairs we find the only person still alive in the building besides myself and Sokolov. This poor maid, who should things have gone different, would have been killed expeditiously. I try to let her know that everyone's dead already, so she doesn't have to keep crying for help, but she wouldn't listen to a word I said. Women, huh? Moving on, I learned that she was not in fact the only person alive, as there was another maid in the kitchen area, but I was a little busy trying to figure out what to do about the shot gates to pay her any mind. Quick side note, but I noticed while writing this script that so far the only servants I've seen have been maids. Not a single butler or otherwise gendered servant in sight. For that matter, all the guards and thugs have been male. What kind of gender-segregated dystopia is this? And to think the Queen just sat by and let this go on. Well, I for one support male servants and female thugs. I'll have to talk to Embalm about this when we get back. Okay, tangent over. Back to assassin business. Outside the kitchen, I learned that I was more wrong than I thought about how many people were still running about in the house, as I happened across a guard hanging out by the noisemaker. He tries to pull a gun, but it's too late as I hop down and drop kill him before returning to looking for a way up to Sokolov. Lemonpunch informs me that I can run through shot gates while time is stopped, so I prepare to try it, but can't for lack of mana. I walk back past the inconsolable ladies in their respective rooms, and the one in the dining area takes the opportunity to show off her theatrics training.
Rare Easter egg.
Are you okay?
Quite the thespian indeed. That aside, I head downstairs in search of some blue juice, hoping to use time stop to get through the shot gate. While looking around, I find the time to admire one of Sokolov's paintings. The line work, the shapes in particular are very impressive.
The obtuse arguments of Lady Boyle. Is that Lady Boyle? She's got an ass, but you know.
I scavenged the area further to find a rewire tool sitting on a nearby table, meaning I no longer require the mana potion I was initially looking for. Good thing too, I just realized that Lemonpunch could have been tricking me again. So I pass Kitchen Maid again, still pleading for her life, and head over to the rewire spot, hoping for no more shotgate shenanigans given I don't think I'll find another rewire tool. Not 5 steps through the gate, I find a strange hole in the floor that near certainly leads to death, but Lemonpunch insisted there was an Easter egg to be found down there. Unfortunately for him, I was too focused on finding Sokolov to check it out, but I encourage you to go check for yourself. I looked it up after the session, and it was way cooler than Batman. Moving on, I complained for a bit about Sokolov's weird fake house inside a warehouse setup, and kill a few guards before rummaging around for secrets. I first find a small crawl space with pipes in it that looked promising, but we had different reasons for being interested in the space.
We saw in the, like getting the whole thing heated, because yeah, that's kind of insane.
Wouldn't you like to sleep, like, here, in this, like, weird little, like, room?
Ultimately, there was nothing interesting to be found, but Lemonpunch started talking about Scatman John, which, I don't know, might be comedy.
Imagine, like, going down the street and he did that, like, right in your face. You're like, beep bada bada boop,
The
boop bada boop. I'd be scared. I'd cry.
cheer you up.
While that conversation was happening, I happened across a room with a lever and a whale oil receptacle in it.
Just, like, being jump scared by Scatman John.
Curious as to what might happen when I activate it, I go back downstairs in search of some whale oil, an action that Lemonpunch took issue with.
I know where I can find something for that.
Oh, good lord.
I'm
Hey,
curious.
there's an Easter egg down there.
Curiosity and the cat, as it were.
Yeah, but you're not a cat, you're a human being.
Can you believe him? Telling me I can't be a cat. Well, after the whole potion situation, I bet he'll never make that mistake again. Talk about egg on his face. Whew. After recovering from watching my life flash before my eyes, I noticed the whale oil powering the shot gates nearby, making the trek downstairs more of a waste of time than I thought, but at least it was funny.
Well, is that mighty convenient?
Finally able to put the whale oil in its place, I cautiously press the lever for fear that it's a trap, not helped by Lemonpunch telling me that was part of the Easter egg.
Part of the Easter egg.
Well, turns out Lemonpunch was lying through his teeth, as the room was just a lift that went down to the first floor.
You don't go down.
That was it.
The lift is going
Not a secret in sight.
up there, then jump down. It was like a really cool Easter egg.
Where is Sokolov? Am I going towards him? I wanted to,
Disappointed, I make my way back up and through a set of doors leading to what I assume is Sokolov's bedroom. I gank some shit and head up to what I gather is Sokolov's office, picking up some more junk, most notably some sleep darts and regular arrows.
expectations, with my emotions.
While looking around, I find an oil tank refill pump. The gist is very similar to Slackjaw's bootleg elixir still. Grab an oil canister from the handy dandy repository,
Yeah, it's tanks.
plug her in, and fill her up. I'm not sure what use it was supposed to serve me, but in case we run into one down the line, now you know what it is.
Splash onto the ground.
I take the canister and head upstairs to the roof. It's up here that I see some asshole walking around like he owned the place. Well, I certainly showed him.
Well, he deserved it.
What do you do?
He just existed. And I took that personally.
It's around this point that Lemonpunch gets impatient, and I really don't appreciate his tone.
Why would I?
jump?
Oh, that's where we were.
Yeah. He's inside the thing.
As a certain red-headed dropout likes to say, "Get in the comments!" Flame the absolute shit out of him so he never disrespects me again. To think he takes that tone with me even though I have his family. I might need to teach him some respect later. On an unrelated note, everyone say hi to Sokolov. I'm not sure why he gets a witness protection shadow while talking, but I assure you, that's the man we came for. He starts going on about trying to bribe me, but I'm a little preoccupied stealing the stuff on his table. After filling a conveniently placed empty bottle at the conveniently placed elixir still, I turn my attention to the cage at the back of the room. One that I can't enter without the key on his belt.
He's not going anywhere.
I try to yoink it off him while he's rambling, but that only seemed to make it worse. So, somehow forgetting the mission and possibly influenced by Lemonpunch in my ear, I kill him.
Might take your...
Much to Lemonpunch's delight.
Oh, that's my bad.
Now it's Lemonpunch's turn, and he starts strong by chucking the empty vial at Sokolov's face, prompting him to run, yelling for his guards.
potion.
Lemonpunch gives chase, actively trying to murder him at first, but switching to sleep darts, presumably because he was just done with the mission. Well, it turns out he barely needed him, as bitch boy Sokolov took a page out of his maid's book and cowered on the floor like, well, a bitch. After talking all that hot shit too. Turns out he's no better than a Pendleton. Well, I mean, he's a little better. It's kinda hard to be that lame. Lemonpunch takes his body and key back up to the room where we found him to rescue his prisoner. Now that's the kind and selfless Lemonpunch that I know.
Thank you,
Well, you?
whoever you are.
You're welcome, I guess.
Why can
Do you have money for me or something?
I'll just hide in the corner and
I accept money as payment.
Yeah, Bitcoin. You do Bitcoin.
You Dogecoin, yeah. Why would you do that to her? You just saved her.
Or perhaps he's an evil agent of chaos sent from the secret 8th layer of hell to bring suffering to all virtual innocents. That works too.
They called me.
Well, after that entirely unnecessary and frankly villainous murder, Lemonpunch quickly makes his way across the buildings, eventually making it to the painting I wanted so badly. Finally, something nice to end out this long, arduous... A fucking safe! So, suffice it
messed
to
up.
say, I was disappointed, but at least we did make it back to it. Let it be known that I,
Do your thing.
of Mystic Monocle, would never lead you on, dear viewer. On our way out, Lemonpunch lets loose a group of prisoners on some guards and then heads down to the waiting Samuel, bringing an end to our time on Kaldwins Bridge. That's pretty dope. Sammy boy!
Oh, look at him. He's posing like a badass.
So fucking cool.
He's finally out that stupid boat.
And as always, the mission finish screen. Nothing much to say here. Lots of death, lots of chaos, not a lot of money. Not a surprising sight, but hey, success is success, you know?